All right, that's about Affle India, up about 3% today, but over the last few trading sessions, we've seen a big move on that one as well. Chennai Petroleum is the other one in focus, up and about in today's trading session. A joint venture with IOC and a couple of seed equity investors. Sonal?
Oh yes, it is a positive news because it was a long pending capex that the company had earlier announced, and now the funding has come through for them. As you said, the board has approved a joint venture with IOC and seed equity investors. The JV will form and implement that 9 million metric tons of refinery project in the Kaveri Basin, and the total amount for this capex is 31,580 crore rupees. So there is some escalation in cost as well. The seed equity investors include the likes of Axis Bank, you have HDFC Life, SBI Life, ICICI Pru and ICICI Bank as well, and board has also approved equity investment from Chennai Petroleum in the JV to the tune of 2,570 crore rupees. The stock is not only doing well today, it has been an outperformer through the course of the year and this month as well. On 13th August, company was allowed to resume production to 100% by Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, because earlier they were asked to cut it to 75% of their total capacity. So the increased production definitely comes as a positive. As I said, the stock is up 12.5% this week. It's up 210% this year itself. So has been a big outperformer as well.
Okay, well, Sonal, tell us more, because you're tracking crude prices and the fact that they've rallied back to $100 per barrel.
Not only we are about media stocks or FMCG or pharma stocks for that matter, it's a lot about what's happening in the oil and gas space as well, right? Overnight, we saw crude prices crossing that $100 a barrel mark because Saudi Arabia hinted that there could be some production cuts as well, and that is the reason crude oil prices, they surged 4% in overnight trading session. That is about crude oil prices. Even gas prices, look at the way they have surged. They were up 13% in the European region in the overnight session. They are at a record high level. European gas prices up anywhere between 500 to 700% this year itself. If we talk about what's happening with the spot LNG prices, even they are at a record high levels at $57 per MMBTU. That is in the Asian region. And one of the reasons why we are seeing this surge is because of the supply constraints because of Russia-Ukraine war. There was additional damage to a key pipeline into Europe, and that is the reason there is a fear that supply could be crunched further, and that's why this move on gas prices as well.
I guess as we head into the winter season, there is this major demand boost, right? So now there'll be a demand crunch, rather supply crunch because of the higher demand, and that seems to be the reason why. I mean, as Sonal was saying, 300 euros per megawatt is a record that we've seen in terms of natural gas prices in Europe, and it's been hitting a lot of companies in India as well. So, for example, auto ancillary companies have huge exposure in Europe, whether it's Motherson Sumi, Bharat Forge, or even something like a Endurance Tech, and they've been telling us how escalating costs in Europe is something that has made their business quite unviable.
And surprisingly, even API companies, because one of the key ingredients for them is steam. So they are also impacted very, very badly with higher gas prices. So that's why you're seeing a lot of the margins crunch down in the previous quarter.
Not so much for the domestic FMCG companies, but a lot of the companies that are exporting, etc., they're scaling down their Europe projections as well, because they believe that maybe there would be a wee bit of a recession or, some sort of crisis out there, because the per capita spend will reduce given, the kind of money that they will be spending on energy, etc. So the disposable income that they will be left with will be much lower to spend on other things, for people to entertain themselves, etc.
Of course.
So
that's a big, I guess, the overarching story. But we'll keep it with the oil and gas space. IG